this lesson we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, so what's the story with parallel and perpendicular lines? Well, if a line has the equation y is equal to 2x plus 4, can we find another line that is parallel or perpendicular to it? And well, we need to know a point that other line passes through, but one thing that we can find out is we can find out the slope of another line that is parallel or perpendicular to it. So let's see that. Let's talk a bit about parallel lines. Parallel lines never meet, even if they carried on forever. And one really important thing about parallel lines is that they always have the same slope. They will always have the same slope. Parallel lines have the same slope but different y-intercepts. So basically each line will cut through the y-axis at a different place, but they will all have the same slope. Now, here are some lines which are going to be parallel to this particular line here. So y is equal to 2x plus 5, and from the first set of videos, when we looked at the formula of equation of a line in the form y was equal to mx plus c, well, m in this line here, the slope of this line is 2. So any line which is parallel to this line will have the same slope. So here are some examples. So there's one, there's one, there's one. These are all lines that are parallel to our big huge one here in the middle, and they're all parallel because they all have the same slope. Different y-intercepts but they all have the same slope. You can see, and you might be saying to yourself, what about this fella here? Well, what this means is that 2x plus 0, so that's just 2x, but they're all in the form y is equal to mx plus c, and we can read off the slope, and the slope is 2 in every one of them. So every one of those lines have the same slope, every one of them. So they are all parallel lines. So it's easy to spot parallel lines, they will have the same slope. In relation to perpendicular lines, well, perpendicular lines meet at right angles to one another. And to find out slopes, well, you need to know a key fact. If you multiply slopes of perpendicular lines, you will always get minus 1 as an answer. So here is a line that we have, y is equal to 3x minus 8, and if we know that two slopes are slope of two lines, and if we multiply them together, if we get minus 1, we know that those lines are perpendicular to each other. So the slope in this case is 3, and a perpendicular line will have a slope of minus 1 over 3. So I'll explain this in a minute, but basically 3 times minus a third will give you minus 1. So it's easy to find out the slope of a perpendicular line, but again I'll explain this shortly. So any line with a slope of minus a third will be perpendicular to this above line here. So here's some examples of lines that are perpendicular to this line. Y is equal to minus a third x plus 6, y is equal to minus a third x plus 7, y is equal to minus a third x minus 11. They all have different y-intercepts, but their slopes are all the same. So now, finding a perpendicular slope, what do we do? So all you've got to do, if two lines are perpendicular and they have the slope of one of the lines, to find the other, you basically turn it upside down and change the sign. Simple as that. You turn it upside down and change the sign. So an example here, minus 2 over 3, turn it upside down, and you're going to get 3 over 2 and change the sign to a positive, so that's going to become plus 3 over 2. Here's another one, 4. You might say to yourself, how the hell do I turn that upside down? Well, 4 is 4 over 1. Turn that upside down and change its sign, 1 over 4, and change its sign, minus 1 over 4. Lovely jubbly. Another one here, minus 1 over 5. Turn it upside down, 5 over 1, and change its sign. It's plus 5 over 1, which is just 5. Right, so there's some examples. Here's some more. If you've got the number 3, put 3 over 1, turn it upside down and change its sign. That's going to become minus 1/3. If you've got 7, that's going to become 7 over 1. Turn it upside down, 1/7, and change its sign, minus 1/7. Minus 9 over 1, turn it upside down, 1 over 9, and change its sign, it becomes a positive. And again, each time 3 by minus a third is minus 1. 7 by minus a seventh is minus 1. When you have two lines and their slopes are perpendicular, when you multiply them together, you will always get minus 1. Minus 5 over 1, turn it upside down, 1 over 5, change its sign, positive 1 over 5. Minus 1/5, turn it upside down, 5 over 1, change its sign, positive 5 over 1, which is just positive 5. Minus 2 over 7, turn it upside down, 7 over 2, change its sign, positive 7 over 2, and that is how you find the slopes of lines that are perpendicular to another line.